In football history, farewells between legendary managers and their clubs often mark the beginning of seismic shifts. Manchester City, the club that has ruled the Premier League under Pep Guardiola's iron grip, now finds itself staring at such a moment. His contract may run until the summer of 2027, but Pep's recent words, admitting that City's golden cycle might be closing and that he could step away earlier than expected, have sent ripples of unease through the blue half of Manchester. The 2024-25 season ended without a single trophy, a stunning blow in the Guardiola era. And as the 2025-26 campaign stumbles forward with signs of turbulence, one question echoes louder than ever. Will Guardiola's departure plunge City into the same decline that engulfed Manchester United after Sir Alex Ferguson left in 2013? Can the citizens keep their iron grip on English football without Pep? Or are they on the verge of slipping into chaos, repeating the tragedy that has haunted their crosstown rivals for over a decade? Uncertainty at Manchester City is nothing new, but never has it been so glaring. For the first time under Guardiola, the club finished a season empty-handed in 2024-25, a shock that left fans and pundits questioning whether his footballing philosophy still had the power to sustain greatness. In press conferences, Guardiola didn't sugarcoat the reality. He openly admitted it was the toughest season of his career. The emotional drain, the drop in intensity, the sense that City were no longer extraordinary. These were words rarely heard from a man who has built his career on relentless excellence. His honesty revealed not just personal fatigue, but cracks in the very foundations of his dynasty. Motivation seemed to waver. The aura of invincibility dimmed. And looming over it all is the greatest threat of them all: Pep's exit. Despite a contract binding him until 2027, he has repeatedly hinted that the Etihad chapter is closing. "I know that after this stage with Man City, I'm going to stop. That's for sure. It's decided, more than decided." He confessed not long ago, a line that felt less like speculation and more like a farewell already written, waiting only for its date to be stamped. Guardiola's departure would not simply mean losing a manager, it would mark the collapse of an entire model of success, nearly a decade in the making. He has been far more than a tactician. Pep has been the architect of a winning culture at City, shaping everything from recruitment strategy to team spirit. Should he truly walk away, the club would face a void not easily filled, especially at a time when performances and motivation are already showing troubling signs of decline. This season has only deepened the concerns. Despite flashes of brilliance from Erling Haaland, City have lacked the stability required to go toe-to-toe with their fiercest rivals. Guardiola himself has admitted that his side is struggling to sustain its trademark intensity, with last year's failures leaving scars that have yet to heal. An over-reliance on key figures, combined with tactical missteps, has stripped away the aura of invincibility. In this fragile state, Pep's eventual exit would feel like a ticking time bomb, plunging the team into disarray, where any successor would face the near-impossible task of instantly replicating his success. Adding to the turmoil is a crisis at the very top. The departure of Txiki Begiristain, the club's long-serving director of football, was a thunderclap that shook the entire organization. More than just Guardiola's right-hand man, dating back to their days at Bayern and even before, Begiristain was the mastermind behind City's precise recruitment, the man who ensured a perfectly balanced squad and preserved the identity of Pep's footballing vision. His absence leaves a gaping hole, and it comes at the worst possible time. City are currently under the cloud of more than 100 Premier League charges for alleged breaches of financial fair play regulations. These allegations not only threaten the club's image, but also cast doubt over its ability to invest and remain stable in the long run. Without both Guardiola and Begiristain, Manchester City would be staring at a leadership crisis, one where strategic unity dissolves and recruitment risks descending into chaos. The threat of Guardiola's exit is driven not just by personal reasons, but by his own professional standards and reputation. A manager who has always demanded relentless success will not stomach back-to-back seasons without silverware. The barren campaign of 2024-25 was already a heavy blow. Should 2025-26 follow the same path. The likelihood of Pep walking away before his contract expires becomes very real. For a man who treasures stability and sustained dominance, the feeling that City are no longer extraordinary could convince him that his mission has run its course. His departure would leave not only a tactical void, but a motivational one, stripping City of the driving force that underpinned their supremacy. The warning signs are stark when you look across town. Manchester United, after Sir Alex Ferguson's farewell in 2013, is a haunting precedent. More than a decade on, United have never reclaimed the Premier League crown or re-established themselves among Europe's elite. Yes, there were isolated triumphs: the FA Cup in 2016, the Europa League in 2017, another FA Cup in 2024. But the essence of long-term consistency and identity was lost. The collapse of philosophy, coupled with constant managerial churn, dragged United into a spiral of confusion. With no visionary at the helm, they became a club rich in resources but poor in direction, where big-name signings came and went without shaping a lasting legacy. Manchester City may appear better equipped, with deep financial reserves, world-class facilities, and a flourishing academy, but they are not immune to the same fate. Their success has been built not only on money but on Guardiola's footballing blueprint and the winning culture he instilled. Without him, future managers would struggle to replicate that harmony. Recruitment could become scattergun, motivation could wane, and though City might still snatch the occasional trophy, maintaining their perch at the very top would be far harder. Just as United have wandered for more than a decade without a clear identity, City too could be staring at a future where the glory fades into uncertainty. Guardiola's departure would not simply mark the loss of a coach, it would close the book on an era. He took Manchester City from a wealthy club to an unstoppable force, delivering 4 consecutive Premier League titles and the long-awaited Champions League crown. Yet that very dependence on Pep is City's greatest vulnerability. Without him, the club faces a tactical vacuum. Players who have thrived under his possession-heavy philosophy could struggle to adapt to a new system, while looming FFP charges may restrict the club's ability to splash out on marquee signings. Rebuilding could become a far tougher task than anyone at the Etihad anticipates. If handled poorly, City risk descending into the same revolving door chaos United endured post-Ferguson, managers coming and going without ever leaving a legacy. There are, however, advantages City possess that United once lacked. A world-class academy has already produced stars like Phil Foden and Rico Lewis, players capable of forming the spine of a new generation. But even talent needs a framework. Guardiola built that environment. His successor must preserve its clarity and cohesion. If City can appoint a manager with a long-term vision aligned to Pep's philosophy, they may yet avoid disaster. But as things stand, with Guardiola seemingly ready to step away, the risks remain daunting. One thing is certain: Pep's exit would shake Manchester City to its core. It could propel the club into a turbulent chapter, eerily similar to United's decline after Ferguson. With instability already bubbling on the pitch and at boardroom level, City must act quickly and decisively to secure their future. The defining question now is whether the citizens can rise above the storm to preserve their dominance, or whether they will slip into a spiral of crisis, repeating the tragedy that has haunted their neighbors for more than a decade.